Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting hour of the Malarkey Hour.
The what?
The Malarkey Hour.
Say it again.
The Malarkey Hour. One more time.
Malarkey.
I am your host, Matt, and my co-host, the voice you hear to my left, Mr. John. How's it going, sir?
Is that your left or your right?
It's my left.
Kind of at an angle.
Well, you know,
Yeah,
if I point with, I point to the right,
it's
my
leftish. It's a lot more left than right.
Yeah, it's semantics. It's left.
But I'm slightly under the weather. My voice might sound a little funny.
Well, it's always sounds.
So if I have like a coughing attack on the air, so you'll have to excuse me.
John.
But I have Hall's cough drops right in front of me.
John has a very rare contagious disease that goes through the internet. So
yeah,
I hope everybody's wearing their protective mask when they listen while they're listening to this.
if you have your antivirus software up to date. So, what's going on?
It's very important. You know, it's
I
important to be
even
safe on it.
I came in on I'm sick and I still came to work.
Yeah. Yeah. You haven't used your sick days yet.
Right.
You're collecting them.
Yeah.
That's good.
What's going on?
Not much, John. How was your week?
Did you fill out a bracket?
I did not.
I filled out 3 and they all suck.
I don't believe in March Madness.
Like the existence of it?
Yeah. I'm a March Madness denier.
All these games, there's one on like right now. There's like 2 on right now. These are all staged. These were filmed 6 months ago.
They were. Yeah, I just it's a personal belief of mine.
These basketball players are actors.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you fill out a bracket?
Yeah, you know I did. I've been bitching about it.
Well, our viewers don't know, so they haven't been in my shoes. So
you know, I actually have it open right now. I'll refresh it in a second.
You wanna?
It's not good. And it's the best of my brackets.
All those upsets.
I'm officially 31 out of 45 games.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be worse.
Yeah, it could be worse.
But I'm 31 of 45.
Although you could say that even if you were 10 and 45, you're like, yeah, it could be worse.
Oh yeah, but pretty sure it's not the worst bracket out there.
No.
But it sucks because I had Kansas beating Louisville in the final championship game, and Kansas is no longer around too.
Louisville's still in there, though.
Yeah, I had 71-77 Louisville over Kansas.
Nice.
Stupid brackets.
For people who haven't been keeping up, right now we're in the round of 32. We're finalizing
the dirty 30.
The 30-30. I were talking about that before we went on there about how there isn't a
name for the other ones.
Yeah, there's a name for Final Four, Elite 8, Sweet 16, but like the other one's just round of 64, round of 32. It's like there's no clever names at ESPN.
Sure, we could make one up by the end of the show.
Yeah, or not. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah,
my bracket sucks.
Well, is it as good as the presidents, John? Did you see President Obama fill out a?
It's on ESPN. Like you can actually see.
Yeah, there's video.
I don't know what his. I don't even remember who he picked, but I don't know if he's got a better score than me right now. He
picked in his championship. He picked Michigan State beating Louisville in the championship game. So
I have Louisville winning it all.
So his is still alive.
Whatever.
You want to see his? Actually, I have. Do I have it here? Yeah, I have President Obama's bracket right here. He has in his Final Four. He has Florida, Michigan State, Arizona, and Louisville.
Here's what screwed me up. I had VCU to knock off Stephen F. Austin. Mm-hmm. I ended up screwing that up, and Stephen F. Austin won 77-75. And then I had VCU knocking off UCLA, who's winning right now.
Yeah.
Or actually, who already won, I think.
Which one?
UCLA.
UCLA, beat CNF Austin. So it's going to be Florida against UCLA in the Sweet 16.
But my scenario was VCU was going to knock out number 1 Florida. It was like, it would have been like a 16-point upset probably. But
well, they say never pick 16s against 1 seeds. So.
Well, the one never loses the first game usually.
Yeah.
You can, the one, after that, it's whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think we need to talk much about, nobody cares about college basketball that much.
The other big news this week, did you hear about the big earthquake on Monday in LA that woke up everybody? And broke at least 3 picture frames in LA.
Were they insured?
I hope so.
No, I saw the clip. I don't know. I saw it on TV.
Yeah. Did you see the? It was making rounds in social media. It was the KTLA news anchor out in LA. His name was Chris Schaubel. They were live doing their news.
Yeah, and they got all scared and they got under their desk.
Let me play the clip real quick. It's funny. It's more. I'll play the clip right now, and you'll be able to see the video if you're watching this podcast. But just the look of his eyes right away, like it switches from calm to.
Thank you. Coming up, more problems for a troubled
earthquake.
Skater. Yep,
we're having an earthquake.
There they dive under the desk.
Okay, it appears to have stopped.
Just as quickly.
We're gonna jump right now to to the U.S. Geological Survey. Let's get right on that right now. That felt very
he needs to
close.
change his underwear real quickly.
I like how he's so professional that he just went right back to the news. Earthquake. Okay, it's over.
All right. Let's
go to weather.
Bill with sports, March Madness.
I don't know. We're in Texas. Everybody already knows that. We don't get a lot of earthquakes over here.
No, not that much.
Yeah. I have family in California that are just used to them. Like,
how often do they? Like, I know tremors probably happen a lot.
I don't know. I asked my aunt last time I talked to her, and she said you just get used to it, and I know when I've gone to visit the family over there, there's always little cracks in the wall, and they're like, oh, we don't really bother to fix it because it's just going to happen again.
So it's either earthquakes or really bad foundation
I guess they're more like, what is it called? Not like below an earthquake.
Tremor?
Yeah, tremor. Yeah. It's more, they get more of those.
So those cracks are
this
either...
is like L.A. County,
so those cracks are either earthquakes or really bad foundation work?
Well, yeah.
So they either got a lot of earthquakes out there or really bad...
They lived in a great part of L.A. In fact, probably the safest thing that happened to them was the earthquake this week.
They're like, thank God for that earthquake.
Yeah. Scared away the crackheads.
Well,
LA's not all Hollywood.
Yeah, as people forget.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, speaking of tremors, transition to our next news story.
They're making another Tremors movie?
Oh, God.
Kevin Bacon needs the work.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the guy from Family Ties, too.
Which one was that?
Was it Family Ties? Which show was the one with Michael J. Fox? Was it Family Ties?
Was that Growing Pains?
Oh, no, that was...
no, you got it right.
That's Kirk Cameron.
Yeah, it is Family Ties.
Yeah. Remember the dad?
Oh,
wasn't he in
yeah.
the Tremor movies?
The one with the beard?
Yeah, wasn't he in the Tremors movies?
I think
He played the crazy survivalist with all the guns.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. He needs some money. He's been in all of them.
Really?
Yeah, he's been in all the sequels. And
yeah, I used to watch those when I was a lad. A young lad.
No, I didn't mean that Tremors. I actually meant there was findings from a group of scientists in the South Pole who this week in their findings they say they detected the gravitational waves that are the first tremors of the Big Bang.
I don't know what that means.
Essentially, what and to simplify it, it means they've I guess I don't want to say proof because in science there's never ever actual like definitive proof of anything. You have to keep searching, but this pretty much solidifies the theory of the Big Bang, that that's what started the whole universe, and they're able to find the first initial, I guess, tremors. I mean, that's what they call them, the waves that when the Big Bang happened, they were able to find this. So that was the big news in science this week.
Fantastic.
So in the beginning there was nothing, and then like that.
All started with a Big Bang. Yeah.
Exactly.
Nearly
So this explains there's a Stanford physicist, Andre Lindy. He had this theory 30 years ago in Moscow.
I went to high school with him.
You did?
Lindy?
30 years ago?
No, never mind. His name was Lundy. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he came up with this theory in Moscow 30 years ago that basically they transform our understanding of the beginnings of the universe. So he came up with this. This is how it started. It's just big. It was nothing, and then there was something, everything that we know.
Isn't everything like this?
And basically, it validates his what he his theory. So it's always just been a theory.
4,000 years of history.
Yeah.
Oh my!
But it's one of the biggest discoveries in that we've had.
No, I mean it's fine.
Uh-huh.
I believe it. It's funny that I don't understand it. I'm like, I believe it.
No, I don't understand it either. I've been reading all week about it. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. It's hard.
I need to watch Cosmos. I gotta start watching Cosmos.
Tonight's the third episode of the Fox News 6-part series on the Cosmos called Cosmos. It's produced by Seth MacFarlane.
So it's very serious.
It is actually. It is very.
No,
serious.
I know. Just being, it's funny.
Yeah.
Probably the first serious thing he's ever done.
Yeah.
No, it looks cool. I like that guy with Neil deGrasse Tyson or deGrasse. What's his name?
Neil Tyson deGrasse.
Yeah, there you go. Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
I like Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson's big brother.
Yeah. They have a strained relationship. They both chose very different career paths.
Well, what's crazy is they both started off in Harvard, and just Tyson.
Tyson
Mike
dropped
Tyson,
out.
Yeah, dropped out. He was on his way to a budding science career, and he had to do stupid boxing.
I heard he was actually making some pretty significant discoveries, and he was a pretty bright guy, but I don't know, boxing just pulled him away.
I want to prove the theory of being the clap out of a guy's head.
Right?
That was John, by the way, Mr. Tyson. So if you want to come up to anybody, that's John making that.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of you, Mike. Watch, he actually listens.
That really hurts.
I was a huge fan.
I'm one of your few subscribers.
I have feelings.
Like our Mike Tyson, right? She's something more like Sylvester.
Yeah.
Sylvester the cat.
You're right.
So that's pretty big news, I think.
That Mike Tyson is related to Neil deGrasse, whatever his name is.
Yes, that's what everybody's waiting. The confirmation that that's true.
Right. I bit it here.
Moving on. In other science, you see, I was reading this week. It was on the site. I'm citing Gizmodo. On Gizmodo, they did an article about how back in 2012 the Earth was almost fried, and by that I mean there's a massive solar storm. That Gizmodo wrote an article.
Chicken?
Yes, there's a massive solar storm. And,
so the Earth was delicious.
And in July 2012, that was more intense than thought, and it had we been in the path of it, it would have blasted right through the Earth's orbits. Luckily,
You're talking about solar flares?
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what. But I mean, it's a solar storm.
When
that's
there's
what solar flares.
like a shitload of solar flares. Yeah.
Luckily, we were on the other side of the sun when that happened. So, had we have been on that side, it would that flare would have gone right through our orbit, and would have gone through the Earth.
But would it have just taken down our communication stuff?
Okay, so yeah, these
actually
fireworks, quote unquote, would have knocked out our electrical grid and satellites, leaving us in, to quote this article, leaving us in global darkness without telecommunication or GPS, potentially for years.
Right. And I actually remember I forgot what I was watching. What's that guy? He's like the Degrassi Tyson guy of, I don't know say his name right? The guy of science, the Asian-looking guy.
Oh, the from Caltech? Is it Caltech?
Maybe he's an older Asian man.
Yeah, he
I
know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they always talk about that solar storm. I just looked at the year, the 1859, and how that one was the biggest one still recorded today. Only we didn't rely on.
It's the Carrington event of 1859.
Yeah, and I remember he even gave an estimate on what it would take to not prevent it from happening, because we can't prevent it from happening.
Yeah, we can't do anything
but
about it.
to get our stuff solar flare proof.
Yeah, so it minimize the damage. Yeah.
You know how much it was?
How much?
I remember. This is you guys can debunk this or not. I swear I saw it on TV. He said $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a lot of money.
No. No.
He said we could do it for $100 million. He's talking about America.
Yeah.
He's not talking about the world.
Yeah. That's the most important part.
Yeah, he's talking about America.
Who cares about?
Yeah, right. Care about the damn Canadians.
Yeah, they could take care of their own
No,
damn
I'm just
satellites.
kidding. I like Canadians. Some of them.
The nice ones.
Yeah.
Go
No, but yeah, he said it would cost $100 million. I'm thinking that's a
drop in the bucket.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
That is like nothing compared to the catastrophe that would.
Yeah, how much it would cost us if we did go down.
You're talking about cell phones down, internet
everything
down,
for years.
ATM machines, banking records, all kinds of, basically everything that runs on electricity.
Yeah.
Gone down, and we're just, I don't know why we haven't done anything about it, but there's a lot of things like that we don't do anything about. So.
Yeah, so solar superstorms are very rare.
But 1859, that's not that long ago.
But the 1859 solar storm, and this article cites that. This is what it did. It not only knocked out the telegraph networks that we had, in that day. It even gave electric shocks to the telegraph systems, the human operators, when that happened. So I mean, luckily back then we weren't as reliant on.
Oh my God, my Facebook.
So I mean, yeah, I mean it's
my bracket. I can't log into my bracket.
It would have knocked on our communication. I mean, we're so reliant.
It's still the biggest one recorded today, right?
That has hit Earth, yeah.
Yeah, that's hit us.
Yes.
Yeah,
it's the biggest one.
I think a couple of months ago, like maybe 3 or 4 months ago, they were having. They call them solar storms, but it was the biggest one in a long time. But they weren't actually. Hitting Earth. It was just crazy, wacky stuff going on.
Well, it happens all the time, but the thing is, a lot of them, it doesn't. They're
small.
Well, they're small, or even if they are big, it doesn't come like this one was in our orbit, so it would have hit us if we were on that side of the sun when it happened. But most of them aren't in our orbit, so it passes us, so it never directly hits us. But I mean, it happens all a lot.
I don't completely get it. I just know that. But the sun just shits out a giant ball of fiery energy.
Yeah, and it's just it's so much energy that
it breaks. Yeah, it would take our podcast down.
Oh God, that would ruin tens of people's evening on Monday evenings.
Right.
It
would ruin about 14 lives.
Oh God.
On Sundays.
Yeah. So it would have. Totally screwed up our communications and everything. We depend on this so much.
But that's the part that tripped me out. Even if he's off by $100 million, he said it cost $100 million, in his opinion, to to, solar storm proof our stuff. Mm-hmm. Even if it's $250 million.
Yeah.
That we've spent more money than that on ridiculous things.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Why don't you think they do it?
I think it's just human nature. We put off stuff that...
I don't.
No, but, everybody puts off stuff. I was reading an article this week on just random. This is totally random, but backing up your computer and how people don't do it, and they just don't realize that they think that their hard drives are never going to crash.
Yeah.
Do you back up your hard drive, John?
I have, but I didn't.
What happened 2 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago?
My computer crashed.
So wait a minute. I said it's just human nature, and you says
I was able to save enough
Not
stuff.
for you?
I lost like 30-something movies. They were downloaded legally for all those out here.
So you claim that
No, but I saved like my PDFs and my tax documents and stuff like that. You were there. I was like literally, I had the blue screen of death flashing in my face.
Yeah.
And I got I had one DVD R and I had one jump drive that.
Yeah, but you did it when it crashed. I mean.
No, I know. I'm saying I didn't back it up.
Yeah, I know.
I did not back it up, and you should back it up.
Yes. So I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, we don't. That's just an example. That we don't. If it's something that's we don't think it's ever gonna happen, or it's very rare it's gonna happen, we just don't worry about it. And then it does happen, and we're like, oh crap,
Can we record anything before that 1859? Is that the biggest, or is that the only one that we have on
I
record?
think it's the biggest one we have on record that
because
hit
we didn't have the technology to know.
Yeah, we had no idea. I mean, there's no way for us to know if it had hit,
There could be like dozens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throughout the Earth's history.
Or just throughout. There could be one just since 1776. Since
it's just we just didn't know.
Yeah.
There's no way for us to know, it didn't affect us, so we didn't know.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's a good question. Like we really don't know how often this really does happen over 1,000-year period or 300-year period. We just don't really know.
Right. Unless there's big corporations in line waiting to fix the problem.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason we don't do it.
Who knows?
I really think it's just as simple as we feel like it's such a rare thing that we just don't worry about it, and we should.
It's the solar storm industrial complex. That's the problem.
So I would have taken down our communication, and but you know what? The good news is if I taken down communication, we wouldn't have the problem that we're having right now, which is
listening to Rush Limbaugh,
which is worrying about whether or not the government is listening in on us all the time. So transition to
they don't do that.
Last week we spent most of the podcast talking about Edward Snowden and Julian Assange and how the NSA likes to
who are they?
Likes to listen into our dirty phone calls.
Yeah, I know you have a lot of dirty phone calls. I've seen your cell phone bill.
It's especially around 5:30 to 6 on weekdays.
Pick up the phone. Those commercials.
So I wanted to go over. There's an article.
Matt makes many calls to 1-800-WE-ARE-18.
Yes.
He's been recommending it. I just haven't tried it yet.
So there's an article on I want to recommend. I read this week on Lifehacker, and the article is titled,
on what?
It's a website called Lifehacker.
Okay.
And the title of the article is "How You Leak Your Privacy Every Day and How to Stop." So I wanted to go over. I don't think sometimes we're so focused on our communication, we don't realize that we're giving away potential,
right.
Our information, essentially, like stuff that, sensitive information, we're just giving it out and we just don't realize it. A lot of times just people don't realize they're doing it. So I want to go over some of the ways that this article notes on how we're doing that.
Can I start before you? Okay, you already know I'm covering my webcam right now on my laptop. That seems a little paranoid to most people. Mm-hmm. But do you know that you've noticed that I never use my card, right? Unless I have to pull out cash. Mm-hmm. Like, you've been out with me, you know.
Mm-hmm. And that's one. Go ahead. Yeah, but that's.
Well, I know, but I wanted to say it before you read the list. Mm-hmm. I think it's a big one. Mm-hmm. Also, this whole like Facebook checking in thing. Mm-hmm. I hate that. Mm-hmm. I don't do that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll make comments and stuff, but they're always usually from my laptop when I do get on. I don't really do the Facebook mobile.
Your secret bunker.
Encrypt it. I will not. I actually have GPS that I had bought like for aftermarket, and then I completely abandoned it once I thought about it. And first of all, it sucked. Yeah, I have a map in my glove compartment, like an actual.
It's
no, I have a physical map.
Yeah, it's just as good.
I turn off my 3G. I don't know how much that helps, but unless I really need to use it, I don't put my 3G on. Mm-hmm. But I'm just saying these are things that I just do consciously. The big thing, I think, is the cash.
Yeah.
It really is. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I could think of a million examples. Like, where were you? And all they got to do is pull up your debit card or credit card record. Mm-hmm. But all they can prove is that I pulled out money at 10 o'clock. After that, I don't have GPS.
All right.
I'm not checked in on Facebook.
Yeah. When somebody tags you.
Yeah, actually, I think I disabled it, but I'm not sure. You can.
I disabled mine too.
Yeah, I think I did it right. Yeah. But yeah, I know what you mean. But those are things that I do. But I have no idea what your list looks like. But those are things that I do consciously.
So, and a lot of those are valid. The ones you said, and some of them do pop up. And the first one is right now you're just talking about. You share your phone's location data with everyone.
What are you talking about? I mean, I think I know what you're talking about. Like these dumb apps.
Mm-hmm. So what it says, your phone tracks everywhere you go, and for the most part, it's great. It's a great service. It helps you make your experiences better. But on top of like the basic level services like a Maps app, which if you put your location, you could find okay, I'm here. Your map knows where you are, and then I want to get here. So
I'll admit though, it's convenient. I've seen.
But yeah, it is convenient. It is convenient, and that's the reason people do it.
Jesus Christ, yes, it is.
Yeah.
Turn right here.
Yeah.
Turn left here.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't beat that. I mean, the paper map doesn't tell me that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's convenience versus security.
Yeah, and so why that is convenient. To give it to that, a Maps app, we also often give out this location data to, just about any app that asks for it. And, that little message pops up, like, do you want to give, and I bet you most people say, okay.
I always say no.
Yeah, and I bet you a lot of people should say, okay, because it's just easy. And, this means that you leak your location publicly without even noticing it,
Even Google Maps asks you when you use Google Maps, because I always use it from home. And then I'll write it down on a piece of paper if I have to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not the most secure thing to do. Mm-hmm. But sometimes it's like I'm in a rush and I write it down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But at the same time, all they can prove is that I looked up a location.
Yeah, I do that all the time before I leave somewhere. I'll look it up, but
they can't prove that I went there.
Yeah.
They can prove.
Or what you should do is what I do. I look up like 14 locations all over town.
I guess I could look up about 3 or 4. I don't know. 14.
No, 14.
All right.
14.
He either went to a crack house or you went to Walmart.
They don't know my habits.
We can't prove which
They
one.
don't know what I do on Thursdays.
Right.
They don't know if that's my crack house night or that's my Walmart night.
Right. Exactly.
So
I'm just a fan of Googling locations.
Right?
I never leave the goddamn house.
I never go anywhere.
I just want to see how many minutes it would take me, theoretically, to get somewhere.
That's why I already have like 312 miles on my 7-year-old car.
All right. That's why I disabled my speedometer.
So, your location data, that's one of the most private things on your phone. Because, I mean, it connects your digital self, I guess you could call that, to your physical self, to your actual self, if that makes sense. So,
just like that Johnny Depp movie that's coming out.
Transcendence? It's a little bit different. I don't think it's quite the same.
You know what I was thinking about in my head? What is that called? Transcendence?
Transcendence, yes.
And, you know, like, I was like, oh, he's finally playing a normal dude. And I thought about it. I go, he's actually playing, like, a hologram computer artificially.
So even when he's playing normal, he's
yeah,
really
and I was thinking about it. I go, do you think, like, the movie went down, like, hey, Mr. Depp, we have a part for you here. It's about a computer. And he's like, I want to play the computer.
Wait, we're not done. No, I want to play the computer.
No. We're just like, I want to play the computer. Just checking off his bucket list of weird roles.
Right.
Anyway, back on topic.
And the last of his list is dad. That's the last role he wants to play.
Right.
Dad.
Yeah.
Just a regular dad.
Yeah, right. It's about a computer. I want to play the computer.
Anyway, back to the list. You know, the problem comes, you know, it's fine if you want to do it, you know, like I said, with a map app or whatever. But the problem comes is you know, apps that don't need access to this information. There's a lot of apps that don't and still ask for it, even though they don't need it.
Prepaid phones, get them while you can.
So, you know, yeah, giving your location data to Google Maps, it makes sense. But to give it to other apps that have no use for that information, that's when that's when you have to be careful, and that's when you have to start really paying attention to what you do on your phone and what settings you have it. So,
no, I was gonna say this might be a dumb question.
Mm-hmm.
You know that app that people use? It's like a walkie-talkie app. What is it? Vox? Is it Vox?
Yeah, I think yeah.
Like it's like a digital walkie-talkie app.
Uh-huh.
Like if you don't,
I've used it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't have, like, say you don't have a cell phone, but you have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and you have
so
like an iPod with Wi-Fi access.
Yeah, so two people that have this, I think it's Vox app.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's like VOX or something.
Right.
And they can talk to each other through this walkie-talkie app.
Yeah.
You think that they got that? Like you think they can hear that?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, that's it. I mean,
makes
just
sense.
it's a weird question. I'm just curious.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it very possible.
So if we just bring back walkie-talkies,
Right.
I bet you that's the least monitored thing out there.
Yeah, there's
Because
nobody's
they're like, they're not. Get like the little kids ones, like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle walkie-talkies.
Well, I would want to get a little bit more sophisticated than that.
All right,
Something
fine. Go to Radio Shack.
Something that's more than 3 feet distance.
But you can make turtle sounds.
Can you really?
I think so.
I never had it.
I think
so
you can. I don't know.
Nice.
But yeah, I guess go to Radio Shack or Walmart or something.
Yeah. So like you have to pay, I'm just saying you have to pay close attention to the which apps you give your location access to. It's worth going into your settings. It's not that hard to do. You go to your settings and you turn off the location services on, and it gives you options which apps you want accessing your location, or you could just turn off your location settings in general, which is all of it. So no app.
Right.
Which I think is the easiest, safest thing to do.
Right.
And also, another way you could sort of leak your location is through a photo's GPS data. A lot of people don't really realize when they take a picture, and then they've posted on Instagram or Facebook.
It knows where you took it.
It knows where you took that picture. So, say you take a picture of your room, people now know how your room looks like and where that room is just by your GPS information.
Where you were when you took the picture.
Yeah.
Scary.
So if you take a picture of your room and you have all this like expensive stuff in there, if somebody knows how to get that information, they know where you live. Yeah, they know what you have in that room.
That's the least of your worries. I mean, it's not like, a little like hackers trying to steal your stuff.
So yeah, your location's in that our
favorite
word.
The NSA scares me more than computer nerds that want to steal my PlayStation.
So yeah, your locations, and when you do that, your locations, and then our favorite word from last week.
Unless they're, what's that? Oh,
metadata.
Metadata 104.7.
What we were talking about last week. Yeah, your locations. It's all in that metadata. So
I'm gonna name if I have a kid, I'm gonna name metadata.
So the easiest way for you to do that is your camera app
or a dog. Let's start with a dog. Metadata.
where are you?
It's good. People give their dogs stupid names.
No, but just funny. Where are you? I can't find you.
I hate people who give their dogs human names.
Like Bob. Bob, where are you? It's like the thing
but I mean-
the thing you're looking for a missing person.
No, but it's something. It's like Alex. Like I've had people, like know people who do that.
Mm-hmm. Like, are you calling your kid? You have a kid? Or you're like, no, my dog. Yeah.
Right. I name all my dogs and my kids the same.
But it's very easy to turn that off too. Essentially, you just take off. You don't let your camera app have access to your location, and every time, and that takes away that GPS data from your phones. So it's easy as that. So I highly suggest.
How do you know if it's on or off?
You go to your location service. It's in your settings on your phone. Let me see. Let me get my phone right here. On on Android, you could go.
I don't even take pictures with my phone.
You go to your settings, and then it's right there. I mean, you look for your. I mean, every phone's different, but you look for your locations settings, and it'll give you a list of all the apps you have and whether they have access to it or not. So.
I think we talked about this.
You go to your location services, and then you can say access to my location, and you could turn all that off. I mean, it's not that hard.
I tell you that company. I can't think of the name. Where they said they're making they're marketing their whole phone campaign on NSA-proof phones.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this was. I think I heard about this a couple months ago. I don't believe it. No, I mean, no, I believe they're really trying to do the whole thing, but.
Right.
I don't know. To me, what's funny is like, who the hell? That's who they're gonna look at.
Yeah. So whoever has it, yeah, you should paint a bullseye on your.
Yeah, I was like,
if you didn't have it before, you're definitely gonna have the attention now.
Yeah, I was like, well, why don't we look at the people that got these NSA-proof phones?
What are they trying to hide? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like,
you want to blend in. You don't want to make yourself even more noticeable.
all right.
So yeah.
That's why we talk in code.
Yeah.
What was that old
LBW?
That mob thing I was telling you, where that guy, I forgot, he wrote a book. And he was saying that all the wiretapping they did. And he was, I mean, I don't know, do the stereotypical. It's like, he's like, don't forget the thing.
With the other thing. Yeah.
And he goes, also, don't forget the bullets for the thing. I just think that's hilarious. It was a real story, too.
Yeah.
It was one of the dumbest things he ever heard, like while he was wiretapping, like the mob.
What is he talking about? What is this thing that needs bullets?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go down the list. The next one on the list. You always stay logged in on social networks.
Always?
Always. So, for people who have, their phones connected to their Twitter, their Facebook, or their Google or whatever, or, their iPad, the thing they do is they, to make it easier for you to, to get on it, it keeps you just constantly logged in.
So they don't, I don't really get the point.
Okay, so say I like to check Facebook on my phone, and I have the Facebook app on my phone.
Most people do use their phone.
Have you ever noticed when somebody gets onto the Facebook on their phone, they never have to log in. They just press a button and it's boom, their Facebook page pops up.
Okay.
So they're constantly logged into their Facebook. They never log out of their Facebook on their phone.
So staying logged in is a good thing.
It's bad.
Oh, a bad thing.
I mean, it's good in terms of convenience. You don't have to be, putting in your username and then your
unless
password.
you're actively using Facebook, log out.
Well, just log out in general. I mean, I don't know why you would need to be logged in constantly, unless you just don't want to spend time, that extra 10 seconds to put in your information to log in. But this is what happens. Usually, what ends up happening is Facebook or Twitter or Google, whatever, when you're constantly logged in, they get a better idea of your behavior. And then they serve up personalized ads through that. So they usually do this through cookies, and it makes it even easier for them to do this. To track what you're doing is if you're never logging out of any of these accounts.
I get boring ads. There's a sale on wool sweaters. So
the the way to stop this is there's tools you can use. There's a browser extension that's called Disconnect that you add it to your browser, and then what it does is it makes sure these companies aren't snooping in and looking at your data without you realizing it. You can use that.
Is this like a HTTPS?
Essentially, what it does, it's just like I said, a browser extension. And what it does, it blocks tracking cookies, regardless whether you're logged into your Facebook or your Twitter or not. So that's a good tool. But you know what? Even with that,
I don't think there is any hiding. I think it's up to the ISP. Mm-hmm. I think it's up to the websites themselves to actually.
No, but I'm just saying that this is a good practice for what you can do. But another good habit to just form is just to get into the habit of deleting your browser cookies.
You know what the best habit is?
What?
Delete your Facebook.
Oh yeah, other than that, if you're gonna have your
Except
Facebook,
we're all addicted. That's true.
Don't worry. Yeah, the best habit to get into is just to get into the habit of deleting your browser cookies. So that way,
I saw something on the news the other day. It was an app where I don't know. I would assume you would have to have the other person like consciously just involved. Mm-hmm. But it was an app to avoid like your ex-girlfriends and boyfriends.
On Facebook.
But
where they are?
GPS-wise,
oh, really?
So when you go out, you don't run into them.
Yeah,
you don't run into them.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, but it was like, can they also just be like, oh, they're crazy and they're gonna run into them anyway, or But I'm saying you would have to like volunteer for that, right?
Yeah.
Like the other person.
I would think so.
Yeah, how do you constantly know where they are? And there's another one that uses your entire Facebook friend wheel, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Your
your network, whatever.
Yeah, and it's to avoid anyone,
Ah.
And I was like, don't they would have to opt in, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Like it couldn't possibly just know where everyone was. Even if they had their cell phone numbers, but that was the concept of the app.
So,
I don't know.
So that way you don't run into anybody you don't want to at a certain place.
Right.
It's crazy. Yeah, stuff like that's crazy. Let's see. Let's keep going. We're almost done with the list. Another thing you do that exposes you log into private services on public computers. So say you go to the library and you check your email, or you grab something from Dropbox, or you get on your Facebook.
Even the first time, this really hit me,
mm-hmm.
and I've already told you this. I won't mention names, but it's two people that we both know, and we're walking out of a bar like on a Saturday. And my friend, I had a couple friends there, and one of them takes off, and I asked I'll call him Bob. I go, where did Bob go?
Yeah.
And my friend, I'll call him Bill.
Okay.
Bill pulls up his phone.
Oh, and they could track each other?
And he goes, he's going home. And then he goes, no, he's not. And I looked at him. I go, you can see where he's going. This is like more than 3 years ago.
I remember this. I remember you told me this.
Yeah. And
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah. And I was like, this is some creepy shit.
Yeah. I was like, why are they allowing each other to be able to see where he... What are y'all dating?
None of your damn business. Really?
Yeah, that's funny.
It's creepy.
Yeah, I remember you telling me this. I know exactly the two people you're talking about.
And I looked at it and I see this little blue dot, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, you guys voluntarily participate in this sort of friendship?
It's like they're dating and they don't trust each other.
Where were you last night?
Right. The little blue dot didn't say you were at home.
Liar! Creepy stuff.
So logging into private services on a public computer can potentially leak your information. So so even checking your something like your bank account on the
NCAA bracket
on a public computer. But one of the easiest things to do, behavior to fix this is, if you are going to have to use a public computer, just use the browser's private mode, and then you make sure you log out. So that way you don't have to worry about leaving behind sensitive data.
I've told you with the, I don't think we've mentioned it on here before, but with the, you know, those commercials with the progressive girl.
Mm-hmm.
What's her name? Flo.
Yeah.
Where they do that safety driver discount.
Yeah, and it tracks your driving habits, right?
Yeah. And they give you a discount, and it's like, it can tell whether you're like a speeder or you're erratic.
Well, one of our friends' parent, I don't want to mention his name, but they had that, and essentially, I think you couldn't have, and in one day you can have, it would beep if you brake too hard, or you sped, or and it would, if you got more than 2 beeps, it would beep when you did something.
Really?
And you got more than 2 beeps, it would mark against you.
Okay.
Well, that's how they tracked it.
I can't raise it. It just takes your discount away.
Yeah,
right?
it just takes your discount away.
Okay, but you know what's been happening?
What?
This was a couple months ago when I read a story, and apparently it's a lot more common. When you get in a car accident, they're not using that against you.
Oh, really?
In court to say that you
they're brake actually too hard, or
you're an erratic driver. In fact, they can use it to up until the moments before the accident.
Mm.
Oh, were you speeding? Oh, were you erratic? Blah blah blah. So the very same thing that looks good, it's supposed to help you.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, I'm getting
it's actually being used as court evidence against you.
Yeah.
So that you're getting sued and you're losing.
Yeah, I mean it's great. I mean, like we're being tracked all the time now, and that's voluntarily.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of this stuff is voluntarily. It's not like they're attaching something to us against our will. We're doing this. We're doing this on our own free will. That's what's crazy about a lot of this stuff.
Right. Scary world.
They tell you, like, let's give you this free service. Why are you giving this for free? Yeah, because we like you. No.
Right, because you're a good customer.
Yeah. No. And this is the last point that has something to do with that, too. You share all kinds of data with retailers. And this goes directly into the fact that you don't use cards, you use nothing but cash.
Right.
You know, retail stores, they're notorious for collecting data about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of them do. You know, like even something like when you log into Amazon, you have an Amazon account, you get all the recommendations. Like, oh, we saw you bought a TV.
Right.
Would you like, a Blu-ray player now? Like, they'll work on a Blu-ray player because you just bought a TV recently.
You know what they were doing? This was, I don't know how it works now, but it was 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw it, they would get people, like, say a woman came in and she bought a pregnancy test. Mm-hmm. And then they would start sending her discounts for, like, kids stuff and, like, like strollers and baby monitors. She was getting all kinds of coupons for that just because she bought a pregnancy test.
And, that makes sense because, like, okay, that makes sense. I did buy this. Okay, now I can see why they know this. But, I mean, that's pretty transparent when it comes to that. But when it starts getting a little, I guess, scary is when you, stuff like, when you walk into a retail store, now they have, a lot of retail stores have free Wi-Fi.
Right.
So this is what it starts getting scary. If you have Wi-Fi enabled on your phone and you walk into a store and there's open Wi-Fi, now they could track where you go into the store, where you go in the store.
Right.
So they could collect data from you that way without you even knowing it.
Yeah.
So say like, hey, like you're like, I pay cash for everything. I paid cash for that birth control test.
Right.
How the hell do they know?
They're trying to get it. They're trying to get a collective sample of where everyone's going, what they're doing.
So in case like with people like you, so who maybe you don't use your card for that, they can't track it. Now they can track it. Say your phone is Wi-Fi enabled, they could track you doing that.
Well, it's like my Wi-Fi and my 3G are off, but that's the best I can do.
Uh-huh.
Well, I turn my phone off, but now you're a little inconvenienced.
Mm-hmm. So, and one of the most obvious cases of how they collect it, and is the easiest, and this is the reason a lot of them offer this, is reward cards. A lot of stores offer reward cards, and a lot of it's just they just want to know your buying habits. They just want to know what you buy.
I do have a CVS and Walgreens reward card.
Yeah, and yes, it claims it's because it's trying to reward, loyalty to their stores, and part of it's that too, but a lot of it's really easy then to track your shopping habits. So say you do pay cash.
The other day they were trying to charge me like $5 and something, and it went down to like $1 or something because of my rewards card.
Yeah.
So
So when they ask you, do you have a rewards card? Like, well, yes, I do. Boom.
Actually,
now it doesn't matter that you pay cash.
The card
I just put your phone number.
Yeah,
right?
I just put my phone number.
Yeah. So now it doesn't matter.
I don't even know where the cards.
Now it doesn't matter if you pay with cash. Now they know.
Yeah.
So they track you with. It's just they have different ways of tracking you. The way to get out of this is you can opt out of this tracking if you want.
Or just leave America. You can opt out or just leave America.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm just kidding.
The only real way to avoid this is just to not sign up for it. It's not a lot of this stuff.
But what about my CVS discount?
So yeah, I mean, that was just some of the points that they had. And this is how you give away your information.
Yeah.
It's all avoidable. Like I said, you just got to be
not completely.
Well, not completely, but a lot of stuff we just don't realize they're doing it, and how they're just giving away information, and it's.
I'm gonna take a survey.
Yeah. So.
With my phone.
So we just gave you a list of how you do it and ways to stop it. It's up to you whether you want to heed our advice or not.
Put the tape on your webcam. Always use cash. And never accept drinks from strangers. So
there's that. Let's end this week's podcast with with happier news, I guess.
There's happy news?
Happy news. The movies, John. Everybody likes going to the movies.
Sometimes the floor's sticky.
Depending on what movie theater you go to, I guess.
I go to the one with the stickiest floor.
Stickiest floors. That's the thing they advertise. We
Right.
have the stickiest floors in the whole town.
Right. I don't like my feet to move. It's like I'm planted exactly where I put them.
That way they know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, people like going to the movie. So let's read off this week's box office results, like we like to do every week. Do you want to guess which movie was number one?
Divergent.
Ding ding ding.
Yeah,
Divergent on this first week of release crushes the competition. Want to guess how much it made?
I don't even know what a lot is anymore. 35 million.
Nope. On its first week of release, it crushes the competition with $56 million opening weekend, making it number one for the for this weekend. Number two, also debuting, Muppets Most Wanted, the newest Muppets movie. It made $16.5 million. So that was second place. Also its first week of release. And third was Mr. Peabody and Sherman, making $11 million on its third week of release. Its total gross so far in 3 weeks has been $81 million. Number 4 was 300 with $8 million. And number 5 was also opening this weekend, God's Not Dead with $8 million.
What is that? God's Not Dead? What is that?
I have no idea. This is the first time I've ever heard of. I have no idea.
I don't know.
I guess it's a Christian movie. See, let me read off what this is off of Box Office Mojo. God's Not Dead had a grassroots marketing effort targeted specifically at Christians who often feel neglected by Hollywood. The movie featured Duck Dynasty stars Willie and Corey Robertson, along with popular Christian rock band Newsboys, who had an album titled God's Not Dead. At least as important was its intriguing story, which centered around a devout Christian college student's philosophical battle with his atheist professor. Huh.
Hey, this week, if you have time, do you not want to go see that?
I had not heard of this. Wow.
Just saying, if you have time,
Number 5.
I wouldn't mind not seeing that with you.
Number 5. You know what? 8 million and only 780.
Need for Speed?
Need for Speed was number 6 right behind it with 7 million.
Oh, okay.
And you know what's crazy? That one, it made 8 million with, it was only in 780 theaters.
Need for Speed?
No, God's Not Dead.
Oh, okay.
That's crazy. That's very little. Because, I mean, your average, it's going to be 3,000 to 4,000, so.
Yeah. Those Duck Dynasty people, they make money.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that was your box office results. Not much else.
I like he called this positive, happy news.
Well, I mean, happier than we were talking about.
Hollywood conglomerates got rich. In happy news. Oh my!
So
you want to hear something funny?
Go ahead.
And
Close it out?
we can't at least end on a lighthearted note.
Yeah.
Go back to the. We're gonna go back to the NSA for just 1 second. This is the. It's not the newest story. It was a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the U.S. Department of Justice is suing Sprint because they were overbilled $21 million on bugging and installing and maintaining their wiretaps.
Oh, really?
On U.S. citizens.
Oh, really?
So the secret, non-existing wiretap program
totally doesn't
is
exist.
publicly suing because they were overcharged $21 million by Sprint.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is funny.
I don't know. I just find that hilarious.
It is funny.
Oh, my.
Damn Sprint. How dare you?
Right.
Well, on that note, much lighthearted note.
That's the most lighthearted thing I could come up with the NSA today. Well, wasn't it? They didn't even call it the NSA. They said it was the FBI and other unknown agencies or undisclosed agencies.
Yeah.
But it's just funny that publicly suing for the wiretap. I was like, gee, that's not even a lot of money.
No.
I was like, why would you even throw that out there?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
They want their money back.
there's got to be public companies involved.
Yeah.
Public lawsuit, public companies, private wiretapping.
Oh, well. Well, on that note, we will say goodbye for this week. Hopefully everybody has a good week and stay safe. Don't give out your location to anybody.
I'll tell you guys the best way to protect yourself.
All right.
Rand Paul, 2016.
There you go. All right. Goodbye, everybody.